You're paid to go to the final buzzer.
Mike. I'm all out all the time.
Kevin Garnett out for the night now. Let's see, did he do it? Nice.
Oh, he nutmegged him. That's a soccer term. Mike.
Thanks for explaining. Jeff, as now hits the free throw. Crowd cheering.
No fouls.
Daniel drives and finishes. And there will be a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals. LeBron James put the heat on his shoulders and carried them to this dominant victory. Up by double figures the entire second half. Largest lead was 25. He was brilliant tonight with 45. Pacers can foul to put him on the line. Johnson is fouled. Larry Johnson has hit his career quota of wild shots today. And now he's got to make one. And when they rushed him, he said, leave me alone. I got to make a free throw here. Got it. New York wins.
Help me out, 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 help me out. What you want to do? By yourself, buddy! By yourself! Stop. Two stop. Sir, got the back.
They waited a lifetime for this moment. Now it's time to celebrate. The official collection. The Oklahoma City Thunder NBA champions. Available now at NBA Store. A Fanatics experience.
You see Luka drop 45 and 15. We have to watch it again.
Let me pull it up.
Dude, you could just use NBA League Pass. Watch games. Live or on demand. You really record every game?
Watch it.
Atmosphere where all stars validate their reputation.
A human highlight reel, reaching high to the sky to grab it. Anthony Edwards scrapes the sky and flushes it. Right wing, Mark got fake, right for three, rips the cord. Slicing up, gets the lock. You could not have scripted this any better.
Some amazing moments from last season, including an incredible run by the Thunder to win it all. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the 2025-26 Western Conference Preview Show. I'm your host, Alexis Morgan, and today we are going around the league to preview all 15 teams in the Western Conference. But before we get started, let me introduce my co-host for the show. We've got creator of the popular YouTube channel Thinking Basketball and author of Thinking Basketball, the book, Ben Taylor. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Alexis. Let's do this. I'm very excited.
Oh, Ben's excited. I know who else is excited. Former NBA video coordinator for the Spurs and the Clippers. deal. Mo, are you ready to talk Western Conference?
I love it. I'm ready to go. I'm pumped up. Alexis, you know I'm always excited for NBA hoops.
He said, no need to get ready. I am always ready. So let's start the show with the 2024-25 NBA champions. What an incredible run for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it looks like they're going to be the favorites to win it all again this season. You can really make the case that the Thunder had one of the most dominant runs to win an NBA championship. Look at these numbers. No one ever had a better point differential last season than the Thunder. Can you make the case that this team was one of the greatest teams in NBA history? I feel like, Mo, you're going to have a very solid argument, so I'm going to go to you first.
Yeah, I think you can make this case quite easily. Just look at the point differential. You saw how dominant their defense was through the course of the season, how strong they were offensively. And then I also think, Alexis, they can even be better offensively as they go forward. But when you have a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP of the league, who was absolutely dominant through the course of the whole season, like, I think there's a lot of opportunity for this team to not just be one of the best teams we had last year, but really one of the best dynasties we're going to have through the course of the next few years in the NBA, with just how young that squad is across the board. Like, this is a team to really just enjoy watching, because we're going to have some fun.
Ben, what are your thoughts?
Alexis, I love that stat, but the regular season is doing a lot of heavy lifting there, right? They had the best regular season point differential in NBA history. The playoffs were a little bumpier. So I'm not ready to put them in that all-time category yet. Historically great defense, and I think to what Mo was getting at, this year, they might even be better, right? Jalen Williams might be better. Chet Holmgren might be better. They have another year of continuity under their belt. They were still really young. So I'm not quite ready to put them there yet, but this year could be the year where if they stomp the regular season again, and in the playoffs, they had some shooting issues from the outside. A couple of the series got really tight. This could be a year where potentially, I think we're looking at an all-time team. Yeah.
I am going to disagree with you, Mo, because I think stats don't say everything. It's kind of like plus minus to me. Sometimes I love the stats, sometimes I don't. And, you know, I watched that 2016-17 Warriors team, and I think if you played those teams together, I'm thinking that the Warriors would win. Okay, so let's move on. Can the Oklahoma City Thunder still claim to be by far the best team in the West? Do we foresee OKC coming in at number one again at the end of the regular season? Ben?
I think if they're healthy and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plays most of the season, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't finish at the top of the conference. Sometimes, Alexis, after a team wins a title for the first time, they come back, they take the foot off the gas a little bit. Other times they come back, and especially a young team like this, and this is their tour de force, right? Now they're at the top of the league. Now they've figured it all out. The offense is clicking, the defense is clicking, the roles are defined. It's an opportunity for those younger players to step up. What a pass by Shai right there. So absolutely, I think they are the safest bet to finish at the top of the conference.
Mo?
Yeah, I think so too. I think, Ben referenced health. They weren't even that healthy during the course of the regular season last year. They lost Isaiah Hartenstein for a good amount of time, lost Chet Holmgren for a good amount of time. And they still rolled through the entire regular season. I think it just shows, how deep they are. When you're watching guys like Jalen Williams taking the leap that he took last season, I think, you're looking at this team going like, there's really no reason for them, aside from drastic injury, for them to not be considered the favorites to win the Western Conference, to be at the very least the number one seed going into the playoffs. They've just been so dominant, and they're only going to get better. Chet's going to be better. I think we're going to see more experimentation with him offensively as well. I think we're going to see more experimentation across the board from the Thunder on the offensive end, so it's not all on Shai, but I think we're going to see all that stuff, and their defense is still going to be consistent. I just can't see a story or a real scenario apart from injuries where they're not the number one seed going into the playoffs.
You both have been talking about the dominance of OKC and foreseeing that they're going to be better this year. But if you could pinpoint any weakness in the Thunder lineup, what would it be, Mo?
Very tough to kind of figure that one out. I think it's just more of the offensive shooting we saw, as Ben said, struggled in the playoffs, with their three-point shooting. Maybe that's something to keep an eye on, but they don't have a lot of weaknesses.
Okay, and I think you are bringing up some games here. What do you have to say?
Oh, well, I want to point out a quote that Sam Presti gave where, he talked about, hey, the NBA is not a chess game, it's a poker game. He says in chess, everyone has the same pieces, right? Everybody's starting from the same point. In poker, everyone has a different hand that they're dealt, right? So now it's a situation where I think this is a perfect way to view the NBA, where all 30 teams have different circumstances that they got to figure out how to deal with. They're all coming from a different starting point, and OKC is coming from a different one than everyone else going into this season.
All right, so let's move on to a team that could challenge for the top spot in the West, the Denver Nuggets. Their superstar, Nikola Jokic, as you can see, is climbing up in the triple-double list. Safe to say he eventually will be the all-time leader. Jokic posted one of the most dominant statistical seasons in NBA history in 2024, becoming the first player in NBA history to finish in the top 3 in points, rebounds, and assists. Is he the NBA's best player? We talked about OKC, MVP Shea. I feel like we're going to get into it with that. Is Jokic the best player in the NBA, Ben?
I think so, yeah. I think Shea would be the guy who could give him a run for his money, and certainly in the regular season last year, Shea, in that context in Oklahoma City, had an incredible regular season, but all things considered, I still think Jokic is probably in a class of his own. Alexis, you said he had one of the best statistical seasons in 2024. I think he had one of the best statistical seasons in 2025 and in 2023, and probably if we dug it up, 2022. He's just been on a heater, and he's great in the playoffs, but in the regular season, it feels like he's a machine. He just goes out there every night. You saw the triple-double list. In Denver, they have what they call the Sombor triple-double, where he gets 9 rebounds or 9 assists, and that happens all the time too. So he's just a machine, not only in terms of racking up these raw stats, but scoring himself, helping his teammates score at the basket, helping his three-point shooters get open shots, and just making the right decision every time. Look at these highlights. It's just incredible.
Coming from a former NBA video coordinator perspective, if you were watching a bunch of tape, because I know video coordinators watch so much film, if you were watching film on Nikola Jokic, would you say that this is the best player in the NBA right now, Mo?
Not only is he the best player in the NBA right now, he's the best player on the planet. I don't think we can really understate just how good Jokic is in the way he makes everybody so much better around him. Everybody's game gets leveled up a whole nother notch, and when he's on the floor and the way he's able to pass and distribute. I feel like we're about to see one right here. He just does so many things on the floor that's amazing. His ability to find his teammates, he's good, knock down three-point shots, his ability in the post to really attack. When he wants to score, he can drop 30 at any point. I don't think there's a lot of ways to stop him. And just these one-handed passes and the way he plays off of the way Aaron Gordon plays off of him, just it's all perfect synergy across the board. You always have to be ready to play with Jokic, and I don't think it's a question. I think he's the best player on the planet right now. There are guys that are close, but he, as Ben said, is in a tier of his own.
Okay, and the Nuggets really had a tough playoff exit last season, losing to the Thunder in 7 games in the conference semifinals. But with some new acquisitions, can the Nuggets' new roster get them back to the NBA Finals, considering we were just talking about the dominance of OKC, Ben?
Well, I think given what we saw in the playoffs last year, and given that Denver has made some pretty good additions in terms of fit, I think that's the immediate place to start to threaten OKC, not just in terms of, hey, in the abstract, is this a really good team, but the way they match up. The Nuggets found some solutions during that playoff series. I was really impressed with their defense, Alexis, in that series, and how they were able to bend and flow and kind of stress the way Oklahoma City wants to run their offense through Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the way they spread the floor and try to create angles for the shooter. And we just talked about Nikola Jokic. Jokic, what gets lost is he has defensive elements to his game that are also really effective. He's really mobile. He has great hands. He's really, really smart. So he's positionally sound. And That to me is the area where if you look at new acquisitions like Cam Johnson, what a great fit. He can defend, he can shoot. Bruce Brown Jr. is there. We've seen him before. Tim Hardaway Jr., another shooter. Christian Brown's a year older. So Aaron Gordon, maybe he's healthy in Game 7. Things are different. I think the Nuggets are right there.
All right, well, we are going to take our first break, but when we come back, we will be talking about one of the most iconic franchises in the NBA. It's the Los Angeles Lakers and their dynamic duo, LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Can they make some noise in the Western Conference? Stay tuned after the break.
So we're gonna finish strong or spray it together. Give it to me. Hey, go ahead and pull the post. I'm clearing. Yo, catch it. Catch it. Get in there. Hey, Mike. This is the best thing on the fight for me. Sit in. The switch again. Doncic over to I like those moves.
Obviously, but he's not the ball quarterback.
That's a rainbow by the Dodgers dancing on the court tonight.
Gotta work on my celebration because I don't really do that. I just started skipping when I know.
Lakers won their 8th straight 12-2 since the arrival of Luka Doncic. A great team. I'm just happy to be part of it.
We see Luka dancing there, and he is one of the most talented players in the NBA, and offensively, Mike.